What's up, everybody? Let's check out the trailer for Cantarella, Proper Etiquette. I don't know what to expect. I'm kind of nervous. Let's listen.
Pale, sullen, mute, in desperate need of refinement.
Ah, so wait, so Cantarella, the reason why she becomes what she becomes is because she's forced with the Fisalias to live a life that is very rigid and structured and focused. And then it looks like she was drowning, but is she drowning in real life or is she drowning mentally? You know what I mean? It's almost like she pushes past all the bullshit that she experienced in her life. Okay, hold on. Also, the music there, the lower cello, really, 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 really somber. The way it presses into it, you know what I mean?
As a facade.
Oh shit! She's scared me. Okay, hold on.
You must learn the proper etiquette.
Oh wait, that's her daughter. Is this blood? Oh! What the f-
At the table, silence is a virtue, as is grace. Whatever is served, you must swallow without flinching. Now, don't tremble. Take your hand, steady the knife and fork, cut it. Still like it.
Bro. So I think this is really interesting. So the clear and present tension in this music is really, really palpable, right? Right off the bat, like if we just rewind just for a little bit, look at how basically we have this moment where it's essentially like a face-off, and it's a domineering, a domination of a smaller, more innocent person for the sake of, trying to get them to change or whatever. Is this her mom or is this her? Like that I don't know. Okay, interesting. But you hear the tension when she takes the bite. It's such a cool little musical gesture.
In composure and grace. I'm afraid we'll have to address that. Even if the poison fills your mouth, even if the taste is as bitter as death, even if you must offer your blood and tears to the hidden abyss of the sea. There's no
I saw a meme earlier this week that was implying that that Cantarella is like Ursula. And if you think about it with the octopus tentacle here, it actually fits. But it kind of feels like whatever, if that is Cantarella, I don't actually know. Well, it must be, because maybe, you know what? I wonder if these are not parts of her soul. But it's amazing here how essentially the music basically just suggests burying oneself and pushing themselves deeply into like just removing yourself from existence by suppressing every part of you because you aren't enough or you're not doing it enough. It's really quite powerful how it, you know what I mean? Bro. Bro.
Agony and gracefully seize control.
Bro. That's fucking cool. The shift between the anime, the in-game style to the anime thing. This is really interesting to me because it's actually like seeing a demon, right? Look at this. So when the chorus comes in right there, obviously we get this incredible visual, right? And that welcomes this terrifying moment of being like at the witness. So it's almost like these are the offspring and all of them have died, right? Except the one here, she goes and she grabs the knife as she sees this terrible, disgusting deformity coming at her. I love how the music, wow, that's really impressive. The shift from 2D to 3D is really impressive. This is actually like low-key cinema. Now, I think, what's interesting is that Cantarella in general, like, we do get this thing where I think the boobs get in the way of like telling a pretty powerful and dramatic story, because I think it's really easy to go bark, bark, woof, woof, because that's just how the gacha landscape works, right? But there is something to be said for, like, we saw this a lot in Camelia's story too, where if you just like listen to Camelia's voice lines, they kind of feel weird. You don't want to play the moans around your parents. She certainly like is very, very infatuated with Rover, right? But if we actually do her story quest, we recognize and realize that Camellia actually has a shit ton of depth. And I think in this particular case, what we're going to see here as well is, yes, we have the imagery and the outfit, and it kind of draws everyone's attention and everyone's like, oh, but the reality is that actually the Cantarella story is like actually like probably going to be pretty deep and pretty thoughtful. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Digest in agony and gracefully seize control.
The really nice sustaining there and the vocals too as she reaches for that knife.
Sample it well. All that awaits you.
I've got this. Follow my lead.
Please enjoy. A small gesture from the Thessalias.
Does the head of the...
Do we know that that's her mother? Because they look identical and they have the exact same body features. I feel like that... Okay, I'll just...
Thessalias take us for fools!
To offer even 1/10 is a great concession for the Thessalias. Do remind yourselves, new nobles, of the decorum who should get you.
It's about time you learn your lesson.
I see. So, it's funny because essentially she buries her pride and she buries who she is by swallowing her pride and eating the tentacle. And the tentacle symbolizes the thing she doesn't want to be, and yet she has no other options. And so she buries her own existence to fit the Thessalia structure and the Thessalia rules for how she should be in her life. And it's something we all do. We all bury ourselves to connect with or be a part of something bigger, or to emotionally feel validated by the people around us. And so we suppress ourselves, our true selves. We don't pursue our dreams because it's not realistic, because the people around us don't want us to, or what have you. But it's interesting how visually it's actually kind of disturbing how, that's a really powerful... We'll go back to that. I just want to... Okay, so, all right. So now she takes on the mantle because she doesn't have a choice.
The old ways are long behind you now.
Oh, shit.
When did you... At the table, raised against you. Whatever is served, you must swallow it with poise. As nobility, this is the most basic of courtesies. You dare seek the depths of the abyss, to fathom the heart of the sea. You are but foam on the waves, destined to utterly dissolve.
Holy shit. That violin goes off. Actually...
Delicious.
Why? Why?
I wonder.
Oh boy.
Just how sweet will you be?
Okay. So they tried to make her three-dimensional, which I appreciate. It's fucking funny, dude. Can I just... That is so, like, next level extra. On the one hand, I'm like, I don't mind it. On the other hand, I'm like, my God. We're never gonna quit the allegations. We need some male characters in this game. That's what we need. Can I just see something really fast? Hold on. All right, so let me just... There's a lot to... Okay, yeah, that is her mother because of the eyes. This is actually interesting. This is actually a really well made trailer, yo. Like, this is actually really cool. Hold on 1 second. So here we have her as this demure, innocent, naive, playful, kind of a gentle character, right? Also, look at how they're setting the plates for everybody else. I find that really interesting.
In desperate need of refinement.
And you hear right away and musically how bleak this like moment is, right? Because if you listen to the even just this like random spot I'm picking. Look at this.
Mute. In desperate need of refinement.
So you get the upper register piano, and then you get the brass underneath that kind of just push in, right? In the distance, you also hear the soprano, which symbolizes not only Cantarella's mother, but also symbolizes what she will become, I think. What I also really think is cool is the fact that Cantarella, to cantare in Italian means to sing, right? Io canto, cantare. So Cantarella, Ella is like a little bit like a diminutive, like for instance, my dad would call me Marcuzzetto because Itto would be a diminutive of Marco, right? So instead of being Marco, it would be Marcolino, Marcuzzetto. These are diminutive words in Italian. And Cantarella is like, it's actually like a pretty playful name, isn't it? It's a very kind of soft, sweet, gentle name. It's a term of endearment. And so it's interesting how here she's actually showcasing how she should be. I'm really fascinated by the psychology of this trailer. This is actually like extremely well done. I hadn't watched this yet. This is actually extremely well done. I actually got goosebumps here. Hold on. So the soprano in the background.
And the proper etiquette.
The piano in the back, super delayed. Look at the, even musically, like the fact that she has to like be like held down in order to be like a part of this world that she really doesn't want to be a part of. She's like, no, I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want to be part of this. You know what I mean? Like imagine, and even musically, listen. Also, what a like stark visual. I know there's like plenty of jokes about like hands or whatever, but like seriously though, like look at the visual. It hits you, right? And it's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like it's crazy how it like deeply like terrifying that is. You know what I mean? It's just space.
At the table,
and then this
silence is a virtue. As is
listen to that cello, yeah?
Whatever is served.
At this table, everything is served. You must swallow without flinching.
Now, don't tremble.
And that cello really symbolizes the fact that she's about to lose herself. You know what I mean? She's going to lose everything. Because that cello symbolizes her mother. It also kind of symbolizes death. You know what I mean? Because also listen to how low it is.
You must swallow without flinching. No, don't tremble.
You hear how low it goes? That's death. Because we go down into the pit,
Take your hand. Steady the knife and fork. Cut it.
And then her eyes. Wow, this is also like visually like such an impressive thing. But you hear how the music syncs up with this incredibly well. Shakatakata. You know what I mean? Listen.
Take your hand.
The tension
Steady
of not
the knife
knowing
and
you have
fork.
to. You just pick up your fork
Cut
and you're just like, okay, look. Boom. You know what I mean?
Still lacking.
And then it's actually kind of like horror, isn't it? Really wild stuff. Listen, you come to me if you want like an in-depth analysis. We're breaking this shit down bit by bit. This is probably one of the better trailers they've ever made, maybe. Now, I'm kind of excited for 2.2, obviously. But I have to say, this is extremely good. This is extremely good.
Grace. I'm afraid we'll have to address that.
So even here, shum, bum, 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 and that's all just like the sharp rhythm in that. Bum, 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 bum. That's that sharp moment of loss. You know, I want to talk a little bit about how she's dressed because I know this is a hot topic, and yeah, look, obviously she's hot. Like, okay, fine, but like let's talk about this. Like what to me. This was mentioned a little bit when I first saw her drip marketing, and someone in chat had mentioned that the idea that this was related to, like a siren, right, or you know, bringing the sailors to their deaths, and I think it's interesting because the Thessalias and the Montellis are two opposing forces, like the Capulets. Oh shit. Oh no, sorry. The Capulets and the my brain was like Romeo and Juliet. The Capulets and the Montagues, right? The Capulets and the Montagues and Romeo and Juliet are two opposing factions. They fight each other. You know the story, Romeo and Juliet. If you don't, please go read a book. Just kidding. But she is in direct opposition to Carlotta and the way that she looks. You know what I mean? Like this is a total huge shift, whereas Carlotta is like dressed really properly. Yeah, sure, her legs are exposed and stuff, like design choices and stuff, but like there's a degree of, you know, of class in that, right? Whereas this is the opposite. I wouldn't call this classy. This is very much all out on display. It's like it's letting you know she doesn't give a shit about the rules. You know what I mean?
Still lacking composure and grace.
And then that's the thing, like there's the degree of like, it's so easy to seduce men. It's so easy to seduce, to manipulate, to twist, to turn, to make things go the way you want them to do. Because it's just an easy flip, you know what I mean? And ultimately to distract and to, you know, gain the attention so that you can get the upper hand. But here it's like, I'm really impressed by this, you know, the ability to be manipulated by this is...
I'm afraid.
Look at this.
We'll have to address that. Even if the poison fills your mouth, even if the taste is as bitter as death,
and look at these barbs here too.
Even if the taste is as bitter as death.
Look at this. These are barbs. These are all connected. It's very much like It. If you've ever seen It, it's very much like It. And so here we just have this loss of self, and each one of these, I don't know if they represent the different like girls that have existed in the Thessalia life, but they're groomed essentially and forced to be a part of that thing, you know, the Thessalia life and stuff, you know.
Even if you must offer your blood and tears to the hidden.
And then when the lower brass comes in here too, there's a real heavy emphasis on like a realization, a wake up. You know what I mean?
Base of the sea. There's nowhere to escape.
And it's cool because the music stops as she's stuck. You know. Dude. That's an amazing moment too, because you can't escape or run away from your reality. And so the octopus there, the true nature of the Thessalias, what have you, that's the identity of that is your inescapable fate, which is why the chorus comes in and just hits. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's cool. So then swallow your fear, and then she releases the. I love the male chorus in there. Again, a male chorus is an extremely dominant sound, and it's extremely powerful. And yes, there's some sopranos in there, but the strong male chorus really punches, and it invites a sense of like domination or domineering over one, right?
Digest in agony and grace.
Look. Oh, she reaches for the knife.
Seize control.
And then it pauses as she resets. This is so well done. Okay, so I want to fast forward. So she dies. There's only one other section I want to talk about. So now she kills what I assume are Montellis, and then the coffee, and then this moment here with these are Montellis because of their relationship with the Echoes.
At the table,
So here we have this incredible moment, the kick in line with the music, and then the violin. I think here it really represents majesticness, right? Majesty, sensuality, virtuosity. We actually saw this. If you remember the trailer with Kefka, it's very similar kind of like, I'm a very powerful woman. I'm very, very strong. Kafka, thank you. I can do anything. I'm very, I have a brutality, but it's elegant at the same time. You know what I mean? Check this out.
at the table, grave against you. Whatever is served, you must swallow it with poise. As nobility, this is the most basic of courtesy.
So it's actually interesting because she talks about as nobility, this is the most basic of courtesies. Now you have this crazy virtuoso piano playing underneath, right? Number one. Number two, you also have this smoothness. Not only that, but on top of that, you also have this vocal thing in the background. And this section right here where she really like shows us her true power, her true nature, that's where we're getting the terrific dark ambiance of this music as well. So she's not just an aristocrat or a member of noble high society. She's also dangerous, and I think that's really apparent.
You dare seek the depths of the abyss to fathom the heart of the...
You actually can hear the piano. I don't know if you can isolate this with your own ears, but right here you can actually hear as she's flying through the air. Really cool.
You dare seek the depths of the abyss to
Yeah, right there. You hear the piano.
heart of the sea. You are but foam on the waves.
The thing is, she says you are foam on the waves, I think partially because of the fact that like she literally was subjected to incredible torture where she was essentially mentally drowned. So foam on the waves, that's nothing. That's like just like, the air that we breathe. It's so superficial, right?
Destined to utterly dissolve.
I love the echo on her voice there. Also, that's incredibly cool. Really terrific stuff. I like how we remove music here. So there's got to be a deeper meaning. There's got to be a deeper meaning. We don't just do that. What am I going to do? Not talk about it? There's got to be a deeper meaning to this.
Delicious.
So we have muted trumpet in there. I think She says delicious. It's very, very essentially low-key graphic. It's implied graphicness, right? It's not actual like smut. It's implied seduction. It's implied XYZ, right? And the reason why we do that, I think, is because she's not to be trusted. She gets what she wants. You know, haven't she? She's femme fatale. Yeah. She's a Lolita. I think that's the Lola, you know, like there's a, not Lola, like a grandmother, if you're from the Philippines, not a Lola, although maybe she might, don't matter. There's something about her in this moment with the muted trumpet. It's kind of depressed. It's pushed back as if to say like, don't trust this. So I'm curious how this is going to pan out. I mean, it's just so on the nose. I wonder why they chose it like this. Now I know the internet's gonna the internet's gonna do what it does, but I wonder why they said let's go ahead and do this. Like, also it's so noisy. Like, I think it does probably represent the tentacle. Yeah, maybe sales are low. I don't know, but I don't I don't think so. It's just so on the nose. It's just so graphic without being graphic, you know?
Delicious.
And it could be to represent how before we had the tentacle and now we have her, and that dichotomy where now she fully is the thing that she was forced to be, right?
I wonder, just how sweet will you be?
Yeah, so the cherries are sweet. They can also be tart. I think in this particular case, I'm trying to find anything possible in my brain to justify why it's so goony. It's a pretty dope trailer, man. I don't know. It's cool. I'm excited to see where Woowa goes. Yeah. Thanks a ton, everybody, and I'll talk to you later.